Training Camp Live presented by American Airlines alongside Patrick Walker. I'm Kyle Yeoman. It's time now for some red zone drills. Just getting started. Dak Prescott in the shotgun. This is the first team offense versus the Chargers' first team defense. A little play action. No, Dak Prescott keeps it, but look who chases him down from behind. That's Dak and Khalil Mack. Dak and Mack. That's what I was trying to say.
Dak and Mack attack. But what you're seeing there on that QB option is what's a carryover from what the Cowboys are kind of installing here. Or I should say more so starting to unleash again in 2022. Dak Prescott's mobility. That is going to be something to watch this coming season.
Tony Pollard to Prescott's left. Dak underneath. Finds Pollard, but he dropped it. Had a linebacker lurking back behind him as Cole Christensen, third-year player out of Army, was looming, about to lay down a hit on Tony Pollard, but he still couldn't hold on.
Good job by Dak Prescott there. A little bit ago we talked about Dak Prescott, using these defensive linemen who are, for the Chargers, who are good at, disrupting plays by putting their arms up and disrupting the passing lanes. Dak was able to get around a defensive lineman's arm, get that to Tony Pollard, and Pollard just couldn't come up with it. Maybe heard some footsteps there.
Three receivers to the near side as you got Fehoko and Turpin. Now Turpin moving in motion. They hand it off. Tried to hand it off. Instead, they dropped it in the backfield. The fumble recovered by L.A. Turnover forced that time. Austin Johnson lands on the loose football.
And we talked about Turpin. Cowboys are trying to get him integrated into this offense to really see what he can do. We've seen him take handoffs before out in Oxnard at training camp practice. We saw him get a downfield play here earlier today, underneath targets as well. But there's another handoff. He just has to hold on to the ball. He cannot afford to make those kinds of mistakes.
Fehoko, Vasher out there as well. And I believe that's Ontario Drummond, who's had a really nice practice so far, including a touchdown grab a couple moments ago. Just way too much pressure. No time for Cooper Rush. Looked like a miscommunication with his offensive line and maybe even with a receiver. As Rush a little frustrated trying to direct traffic after the fact.
And it looks like Cooper Rush just went ahead and gave up on that particular play because the rush got there so quickly. The pocket collapsed so quickly. There was not much that he could have done other than take the sack, which would have potentially been a sack fumble and turn into a takeaway anyway.
Here's the first team back out there. Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert, Dennis Houston. Keep that in mind. That third name there keeps being put in with the ones. Dak Prescott, play action over the middle. There's Dalton Schultz for the score.
And there's Dak Prescott's accuracy on full display yet again. He is just firing on all cylinders for the most part. Had a couple of ill-advised throws here earlier in practice, but for the most part, his accuracy has been on great display in training camp, and that's a good example of it right there. Frozen rope right through the keyhole to Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, it was a tight window, and he got it there. It was actually pretty decent coverage on the tight end as Dean Leonard was coming over into the slot on Schultz, and then Schultz still found some separation. Dak Prescott found Schultz. Now he's rolling to his right. Is he going to tuck it and run? Yes, he will. Might have been stacked up on the far side. There was a Charger and Nasir Adderley that was looming right at the line of scrimmage, and that might have been tough for Dak to get through.
And what we're seeing, again, for the second time in 4 plays, Dak Prescott is using his legs to put pressure on the Los Angeles Chargers defense. And that's something that you definitely want to see against a defensive line that's as stout as this that we see in the Los Angeles Chargers. That's going to keep those pass rushers at bay, keep them trying to figure out, hey, can I pin my ears back or do I really have to cover laterally?
Tolbert and Houston to the near side. Working from about the 6-yard line. Zeke in trouble behind the line of scrimmage, and there was just nowhere on that. It looked like the right side of the offensive line really struggled on that rep. There's Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack were both on that side. It's kind of tough to block those guys up.
Exactly, and for Ezekiel Elliott, the play obviously was set to go into the right side. That got collapsed quickly.
Did not happen.
Good heads-up play to make the direction change. He tried to come back to the left side, but by the time he did, there wasn't much there to be had either.
See if they can.
Ezekiel Elliott lined out wide.
You're exactly right. And everybody empty backfield, but they motion Zeke back in. Prescott, play action, keeps it, rolling on the bootleg to the right, tucks it, and he runs to the pylon.
And there we go. Dak Prescott showing the wheels on this drive. He is showing the wheels. Now, it's key to note for Cowboys fans, Dak Prescott is not going to go out there and try to be Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to try to be Lamar Jackson. What the Cowboys simply need him to do is channel his inner Mississippi State, in that he makes enough plays with his legs that it creates a decoy, for lack of a better way to put it, against an opposing defense. They're really going to have to try to figure out, will Dak Prescott take off, something he didn't do in 2021?
Basically just knowing that the threat is there. That's the biggest thing. And when Cooper Rush is in the pocket, he's not necessarily a threat to run, so you can sell out, whereas Dak Prescott may show that he is a threat to run moving forward.
Now, that's not to say Cooper Rush will not take off and run. We
could.
saw him do
He
that
could
against
totally
the Denver
do it.
Broncos.
Yep.
But to your point, he's not exactly the guy that's going to think about running first or even second.
Turpin, Smith, Vasher are the wide receivers. Also have Jake Ferguson in the ball game, and they run the football. Again, nowhere going. The second team has really had their lumps, taken their lumps in the run game recently.
On a play like that, I would like to see someone take a shot, or Cooper Rush would have taken a shot at T.J. Vasser, who definitely has the size and length on his defensive back. Maybe a shot at the back pylon of the end zone, give Vasher an opportunity to high point that. We saw what Vasher can do. He did it in that highlight catch against Kelvin Joseph out in Oxnard. Give the young guy an opportunity to use his length, use his hands to maybe win that particular battle.
So it looks like we're moving into 2-minute drill to wrap up this final training camp live of the day. Remember, there's 3 other episodes, 2 with Mickey Spagnola, 2 with Patrick Walker. So if this is the first one you get a chance to look at, be sure to go back and look at the other ones. All posted on DallasCowboys.com and on the various social channels.
It's just a wise thing to do, Kyle, to catch up on the entirety of training camp live. It's the wise thing to do.
It's like binge watching a show.
Yes.
We don't have the live coverage today like we normally would.
So what you want to do is you want to grab a cold one,
Yeah.
and you want to sit
Miller
down
Lite
with your family and friends,
Yeah.
Miller Lite
There you go.
preferably,
Yeah.
and you want to just binge the entirety of training camp live.
Maybe you're on an American Airlines flight.
There you go.
You can just hop onto that in-flight Wi-Fi
There
and
you
get you
go.
rolling. We're back rolling again here and talking about rolling. Dak Prescott using his legs more often than he has in any other point throughout training camp so far, Patrick. And like you said, it's presenting a threat, but really it's a necessity at times here.
Absolutely, and Dak Prescott said he's feeling physically the best he's ever felt in his life, and it's showing.
Plenty of time on this one, even though Khalil Mack got in the middle. It bounces off of the hands of Ezekiel Elliott, and it's Kyle Van Noy who has the interception. First-year man with L.A., spent some time with the Patriots, won a couple Super Bowls with New England, and he has the interception to end the first-team reps for the Dallas Cowboys after it looked like that ball just slipped through the hands of Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, it's something that Ezekiel Elliott doesn't necessarily struggle with at all. He had some fumbles a couple of seasons ago. He cleaned that up in magnificent fashion in 2021. Had some of the most sure hands of anybody on the Cowboys roster. On that particular play, just didn't happen for him, though.
Got a golf cart moving through the shot at the moment. Got to love it. Maybe they're watching training camp live.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
It's just the thing to do.
It's the thing to do. Here's Cooper Rush. Second teamers out there for some 2-minute drill. Working our direction and working to the right-hand side. That one thrown into the dirt. Looked like Drummond was the intended target, but again, collapsing pocket and Rush just couldn't get it out in time.
And that's going to be the tale of the tape when the Cowboys go back and look at this. They knew coming in that the Los Angeles Chargers have a very, very disruptive defense, and that's what we're seeing. The Chargers are able to disrupt passing lanes. They're able to create pressure in the pocket, get through the offensive line, sometimes at will. A real test for the Cowboys, particularly that offensive front.
Man in motion is Smith. Rush. Closed off that left side, throws it into coverage, but it's grabbed on the ground. Nice catch coming back to the football. Still trying to see exactly who made that grab. Looks like it might have been Dontario Drummond. That was Jalen Tolbert that made that grab. This one far side going up and getting it. It's T.J. Vasher with the grab.
And this is exactly what I'm speaking of when you talk about Vasher. This is a guy who has a lot of length. He can leap. He has sticky hands. I would have liked to, a few plays ago, seen a shot taken toward him in the end zone, but that's a good reminder of why I wanted to see that.
Second team moving the ball a little bit. Overthrown. That one going to Sean McEwen.
I like what I'm seeing from Cooper Rush after that, after the pressure collapsed the pocket about 3 plays ago. He rolls out to his right. He stays composed, keeps his eyes downfield. He's able to find the receiver with a great pinpoint pass that only the receiver can come up with. This subsequent play, he gets it to Vasher on a high point, allows Vasher to really use his skill set to bring down the ball, and does. And that's a catchable ball for Sean McEwen there.
Rush in the shotgun, puts a man in motion. It's Roberson. Low snap. Rush still got it up and out. It was a screen play looking to go toward Malik Davis, but, man, there was a lot of pressure up the middle that time. Somebody got in the backfield and did so quickly.
And you're typically going to see that happen when you have a bad snap, because you have that much more of a fraction of a second to try to get to your opposing quarterback. As the quarterback looks around, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's Waldo? And that's unfortunately the situation Rush was in just then. So heads up play to get rid of that and not take a sack or worse.
Now they put a man in motion. Defense wanted a flag. Here's Rush. Rolls out again. Whistle blows, but that one to Turpin off the chest and incomplete. Good coverage from the Chargers.
Great coverage there, but again, a catchable ball. Rush looks to be playing much cleaner, much more crisp on this particular drive, and that's something that the Cowboys want to see from him, in particular while Will Grier is nursing that groin injury. To be determined if Will Grier will participate in the second preseason game coming up here Saturday against the Chargers. But that's the QB battle to watch, is Grier versus Cooper Rush. Rush did not have a great showing against the Broncos, looking better here in the first scrimmage against the Chargers. He's going to have another scrimmage tomorrow, and then the preseason game against the Chargers in a couple of days or so.
I believe this is 4th down for Cowboys offense. Cooper Rush, near side, needs a window, and he found it to Cavante Turpin. He got both feet inbounds. That ball went over the top of the Chargers defender, and Turpin brought it down in time.
What a catch. Cavante Turpin, who not 2 plays ago saw one bounce off of his chest plate, comes back, one of the smaller guys on the field, if not the smallest guy on the field, beats his guy on a go route with the safety over the top, comes down and keeps both feet in.
And it keeps the drive alive for a couple shots at the end zone here. They go to Simi Fehoko. He was covered very nicely that time in coverage by Dean Leonard. But really, I mean, that completely jolted this offense forward. That was the last opportunity. That was a Hail Mary to at least keep the drive alive. And now not only is the drive alive, but really the Cowboys have an advantage here from the second team.
Kudos to both Turpin for making that catch and getting the feet down, but also to Cooper Rush. We just finished praising him, telling that he was more crisp on this drive. That was an absolute dot. There was only one person that had a shot at getting that ball, and it was Cavante Turpin. So credit to him for that throw as well.
Here we go, 2nd down from just outside the 10-yard line. They hand it to Aaron Shamklin. Looked like a bit of hesitation, but he found the hole. Nice job exploding through and getting up to the second level. Gain of about 6 is what they're going to call it.
And that's what you want to see from any running back, but especially your backup running backs. Be decisive, see the hole, hit the hole.
This one from just inside the 3-yard line. And they spike it. They're going to bring out the field goal unit. Are they? Or it looks like the offensive line's coming out there. No, they're bringing the field goal on, and this is going to be a chance for Brett Maher. Mike McCarthy alluded to this. They are going to kick in both today's practice and tomorrow's practice.
And something that needs to happen. The Cowboys didn't really take advantage of the fact that they need to see both Hajrulahu and Maher against the Broncos. They didn't take advantage of that. Here we are in Los Angeles going up against the Chargers. 2 scrimmages and a preseason game to figure out which one of these guys should take the lead.
These are small goalposts, by the way, not normal regulation goalposts, and it's still right down the middle. You like seeing that one.
Absolutely, and Maher is a guy who's not unfamiliar with the Cowboys. Obviously, this is his 2nd stint. Then again, Hajrulahu is a guy who's also not unfamiliar with the Cowboys. I believe this is his 4th stint with the team.
Been back and forth.
It's been back and forth. So both of these guys are kind of up against it as far as trying to convince the Cowboys that they're the guy.
Good snap, good hold. Liram Hajrulahu, that one down the middle as well. So both kickers convert on their opportunities here. And we converted on our opportunity to bring you some Cowboys versus Chargers joint practice today here from California. Final thoughts as we wrap up training camp live.
Like what I saw here, the scrimmage against the Broncos and the game against the Broncos was a mixed bag. It was a whole lot of negative. The Cowboys look like they've cleaned up quite a bit of that. Didn't see a ton of penalties out here. That's key to keep an eye on. But what you also saw was some guys step up, like Dennis Houston continues to play well, Simi Fehoko, but now keep an eye on Kevontae Turpin. He's now established himself as a potential viable wide receiver option for the Cowboys.
He made a couple nice plays throughout the day. It really just felt cleaner, felt crisp from a practice compared to especially what they did last Thursday against Denver. This was a good practice for the Cowboys. I feel like, especially when they go back and review the film, they're going to have a chance to come out tomorrow, even up what they did today. It's been a good start to the week so far here in Los Angeles. Good start to training camp live. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got Rob Phillips and Nick Eatman on the docket for 4 more editions of this to really bring you the best portions of practice. But for Patrick Walker, Kyle Yeomans, Alex Lilly behind the camera for all of these, be sure to go check out the other 3 episodes. But that does it for us here on Training Camp Live, presented by American Airlines.